Hey everybody, this is Felicia with The Book is Done. I wanted to give a review about one of two. The next one I'm going to do is going to be a separate video. Please forgive my voice. I have strep. I was just diagnosed on Thursday with strep, and I was just diagnosed today with COVID. So my voice is actually better than it was this morning. I still sound horrible, but in all things, I've read these two books about a month ago. I've been sick all month, but it was so good. It was so good, and it got me hooked on this series. And I'm late to the game with this, but it's called a Twisted Tale series. And excuse me, for those who don't know, it's like Disney movies that authors have taken their story and kind of put a twist on it. Excuse me. So the first one that I read is based off of the movie The Princess and the Frog, with Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. And so this one is called Almost There by Farrah, Rochon. And it says, what if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? So this was one of my favorite movies with Disney. My ultimate favorite Disney movie of all time is Beauty and the Beast. That's the next one I'm gonna talk about. But this one, so if you have seen, picture it, you are in Nolans, aka New Orleans, Louisiana, during Mardi Gras, and picture it, you're watching the movie, or you're in the movie Princess and the Frog. It goes back to the point in the movie where the parade is going on. Prince Naveen is trapped in this like little chest because Shadow Man needs him in order to get Big Daddy LaBeouf, I'm sorry. And so this is right after, or I think right before Ray got crushed by Shadow Man. So Tiana she has the talisman. She's running or hopping in the cemetery, and it's that part where Shadow Man, blows on it, and he brings up her restaurant. He brings back her dad. Well, no, not her dad, but sees how she's almost there when she sang the song Almost There. And he was like, come on, Tiana, you can give it to me. The talisman, you're almost there. And so you're in that part in the movie. So this goes to that part in that movie. And of course, in the movie, Tiana says no. She shatters the talisman, and his friends on the other side came and got Shadow Man and took him to the place below. And so with this story actually talks about if Tiana did take him up on that offer and taking the Shadow Man up. So giving her the restaurant, making sure she has what she wants. Within this book, it talks about how she got what she wanted in the restaurant. Her dad comes back alive, and then Lewis, the alligator, is turned into a human so that he can play for the big boys. You know what I mean? Again, picture yourself in this movie, right? So like you have to have that mindset of the constant Princess and the Frog movie. And so, not to say that I want to say it goes back a few years. Like the book starts, that's where Tiana is like this little girl, just like the movie, where her dad was there and he was making some gumbo, and she put her twist on some things, and it was like every few years it would talk about what Tiana was doing. And so still talking about the restaurant, her dad is there cooking. And so fast forward to where she is now. Like Tiana and Lewis are the only ones that know, of course Shadow Man too, but Lewis knows about 95% of what's going on. Tiana knows everything. Everybody else, her mama doesn't know, doesn't remember what's going on. Like when Tiana woke up the next day after making a deal with the Shadow Man, it was as if her father never left for war. He was in the kitchen cooking. I don't know if it was that the war never happened, but dad is in the kitchen cooking. Prince Naveen, he did come to New Orleans, but he ended up, I don't know how he got to be in the Sugar Mill Corporation with Big Daddy LeBeau, but it's like in a sense he's working for Big Daddy LeBeau. And him and Charlotte are not dating though. Like they're friends, but they're not dating. And so Charlotte is oblivious to it. Naveen is oblivious to it. Big Daddy LeBeau is oblivious to it. Tiana is the only one that knows what's going on. So like she recognizes, like, as she's going throughout the day, her dad, like, everything is perfect in life. She's cooking with her dad. They own this restaurant. It's really successful. And it's around the time of Mardi Gras, and they noticed like different things were happening. Like it was this woman that was at the market. I forgot her name. She ends up being a super important person towards the end of the book. But she would give her like these paintings. And not to say that the paintings moved, but the woman would tell her to put it in her restaurant, exactly where to put it in her restaurant. And Tiana was just like, I don't know, I trust you, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. But Tiana isn't dumb either. So she puts the paintings in the restaurant, and then like the next day or over the course of the next few days, like if it was a flower or like some flowers that were painted in the painting, when she first got the painting, it would look alive. The flowers would look vibrant. But then after a few days, it would look like it was dead. And it was just like, Tiana was like, is this painting real? Like, did it come to life? Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just tripping. It's Mardi Gras. A lot of things happening. I'm just tired. I'm working a lot. Let me just get through it. So, the story goes on. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but the story goes on, and it's like different things that are happening. Like it's this big green, it's this fog that starts New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans is settled on the Mississippi River, you know what I mean? So it's like you can see fog, you can see haze, you can see all of this stuff throughout New Orleans. I've never been there, but like you're on the water, so it's gonna be hazy, it's gonna be humid, it's swamplands, it's everything that's around there. So as Mardi Gras gets closer and closer, it was different things that were happening. And Tiana was like, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. And then, like, for one of the days leading up to Mardi Gras, she asked Lewis to come and play. Lewis and his band to come play at her restaurant. So, her and Lewis are close or whatnot. And then, so she has this big old thing at her restaurant, and Charlotte and Big Daddy LeBeau and Naveen is there, and Charlotte is just, she tells Naveen, she's just like, listen, I need you to act as my date because my dad is trying to set me up, and this man that he's trying to set me up with is so boring. So while all three of them are there, Princess Tiana is trying to avoid Naveen at all costs. Like she doesn't want to be around him. She doesn't know if he remembers anything. She just doesn't want to take that chance. And so Tiana still doesn't go out. You know, in the movie, it was saying that Tiana, her friends were saying that she worked all the time. She didn't have enough time to go and dance, so she didn't want to go dance. All she wanted to do was work and get her restaurant. So it's the same thing in this book. And her dad is like, girl, you better go on out there and just take a break. Go and enjoy like what you've created. Go and enjoy the atmosphere. Like, go dance. Go. You're young. Go. And Tiana's like, Daddy, I got stuff to do. I gotta make stuff happen. And so in the deal, Shadow Man, going back to some of the beginning of which Tiana and Shadow Man made the deal. Shadow Man gave her like this vial. I don't want to say it's like of blood or anything like that, but it's like she has to put drops of it in the gumbo every time she makes it. And so Shadow Man was just like, you have to do it. Just put it in the gumbo. Your deal will continue to go on as long as you continue to put these drops in your gumbo. It didn't make people sick. I don't know what it was, but in all things, like, it just kept the deal going. So Tiana was like, fine, whatever. I don't want to deal with you, but whatever. My daddy is here. I'm happy. He's happy. We got the restaurant. Life is perfect. So throughout the book, Shadow Man's friends on the other side basically told him, like, hey, if you don't get her signature, Tiana's signature, either on a line or on some paper or something, we gonna kill you, we gonna kill Tiana, we gonna kill everybody. Tiana's gonna die if you don't get her to sign this thing. And Shadow Man was like, that was not part of the deal. And they were just like, whenever we make a deal of this magnitude, you need to get a signature. Word, somebody's word isn't enough. So Shadow Man is trying to do all this shady boot stuff to try and get her to sign stuff. And Tiana was like, I'm not signing nothing. So it continues to go on. Things continue to get weird. People start to act weird. Nobody's dying, but people just act weird. And so I am going to give a few spoilers, but in all things, and when I say they, Princess Tiana, I keep saying Princess Tiana, I'm so accustomed to it. Tiana has to go and see Mama Odie, like at the end of the day, because it's some stuff that's going on. Stuff don't look right. And she needed something. Tiana needed something from the Shadow Man. I forgot what it was, but in all things, she was just like, I need help. I can't do this by myself. So she was going to take a boat out to see Mama Odie, and then Charlotte, Naveen, and Lewis come with her, and they were just like, you're not going by yourself. And as they're out on the waterways and stuff with the swamp, Naveen is like, I've been here before. I can't explain it, but I've been here before. And Tiana is just like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know. And then Lewis was starting to come up with some things too, and was like, I've been here before. And like some of the things he knows that he is or was a crocodile. He was like, I miss my family. If I could just go and see them, every now and then, I'll be all right. And so Tiana was like, I'm so sorry that was part of the deal. I just know that you really, really wanted to be a human so that you can go and play jazz. I knew that was your heart's desire. So she felt bad about it. So they're on the way to Mama Odie's house. They get to Mama Odie's house. Mama Odie isn't there. And so I'm going to leave it right there as for you to go and read the book. Excuse me. But in all things, excuse me, at the end of it all, I seriously thought that it was a super, super good twist to everything. Because it's like, sometimes you look at these movies, maybe it's just me. I know I'm not the only one though, where you look at these movies and you're just like, I wonder what would have happened if they did take that person up on that deal, if they did make the other decision instead of this decision. And so with this book, even though it was 400 and some pages, and yes, this is for a young adult, I don't care. Like some of the books, a lot of the books that young adults have be better than the grown folks ones. But in all things, this book was so, so good. I'm such a kid at heart. Like if I could live at Disney, I would. Just because it's not even about magic. It's just about how it makes you feel. And so almost there, this book was super, super, super good. Did I feel like it had to be that long? No, because it is a thick book. But at the same point in time, I felt like it just made me feel all good inside. And I was just like, okay, I can get with this. I can read a few more of these books. So I'm going to end this right here. We're almost there. And then I'm going to go with the other one. I am starting to slowly, I think it's like 18 of these books. And I'm not going to get all of them because I don't believe I've seen all of them. But I know they have one that's based on like Mulan. They have one that's based on Brave. They have one that's based on Sleeping Beauty, Hercules, Untangled, which is Rapunzel, Aladdin. I can't remember some of the other ones. But the ones that I did, like the one I'm getting ready to talk about now is Beauty and the Beast. The one that I'm reading is A Whole New World, of course, Aladdin. The other one is What Once Was Mine, which is Rapunzel and Untangled. Another one is called Reflection, which is Mulan. And so it's exciting. Like it takes you back to these Disney movies. If you are not a Disney person and or you have not seen any of these Disney movies, I understand. It's an international thing. I'm not even going to say it's an American thing. Disney is international. Mickey Mouse, international. And so with all of these animated movies that came out years and years and years ago, and with some, I mean, now they're partnered with Pixar and things of that nature. So you got Toy Story, you got Cars, you got planes, you got all of this. But it's something about the animated Disney movies that just gives you all the goodness inside. I don't know if they have one for Snow White. I have to look and see. I definitely have to look and see about that. But in all things, A Twisted Tale, that's the name of the series. So if you have read any of these books, please reach out. Let me know what you've read. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I am trying my best not to become infatuated with these books. But again, it's like for me, when I read the book, especially if it's based on a movie, I put myself back in the movie so that I can see, have the mindset of that character, or to see, you know, what the time frame was in the movie, so I can see where the book is going based on that time frame. So, in all things, almost there. Farrah, Rochon, and that's another thing. All of these books are not by the same authors. Like there are some, excuse me, there are some that are written by Farrah, Rochon. There are a lot that are written by Liz Braswell, and that's the next one that I'm gonna talk about. So again, a Twisted Tales series. Let me know what you think. This is Felicia with The Book Is Done, and I'm out.